Labour Party calling on the government to take a decision sooner rather than later to increase benefits in line with inflation and reverse what it called the government's kamikaze budget.
Well, joining us now is Jonathan Ashworth, Shadow Work and Pensions Secretary. Jonathan, good to see you. Do the Labour Party believe that benefits should rise in line with prices? If so, how would it be paid for?
Yes, we do believe that. And actually, this cabinet believed that or many of the members of this cabinet believed that. And certainly that's what they were saying a few months ago. And Liz Truss and Kwasi Kwarteng sat in that cabinet. Indeed, Theresa Coffey was the Work and Pensions Secretary a few months ago when the government committed to raise benefits in line with inflation. She's now the Deputy Prime Minister. Look at the context we're in. We had a disastrous budget which led to turmoil on the markets. It led to a spike in borrowing costs, a run on pension funds. Because of gilt yields and swap rates, mortgages have risen, costing people hundreds of pounds more. And now the government expect working mums and dads, disabled people, poorer pensioners to pay the price. We believe that is obscene. Those who rely on these social security payments should have the security of knowing that they will rise in line with the cost of living next year. And Tory ministers should stick to the promise that they made to their disabled constituents, to working mums and dads and pensioners in their constituencies.
Make the numbers work. What would a Labour government tax to pay for such an increase in line with inflation?
Well, you asked me to make the numbers work. It was this government's previous chancellor who said they were committed to inflation rating social security payments next year. And that was only a few months ago, before the summer. So why are the government now saying the numbers don't work? Well, the reason they're saying that is because they've just embarked upon a quite disastrous budget with umpteen tax giveaways, which led to absolute turmoil on the markets, which means that people are now facing mortgage increases of hundreds of pounds a month. So you ask me how it will pay for it. Well, government is about choices. And this government has chosen to give tax breaks to big corporations, costing something like £17 billion. It's chosen to give VAT-free shopping to those tourists who go and shop in Harrods, for example. I don't think they're the right choices to be making when disabled people who have higher energy bills, often because of the costs involved in charging a wheelchair or a ventilator, or higher heating bills, are facing a real crisis.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make is that clearly we're going to get the OBR's assessment of the spending plans. I mean, 43 billion in unfunded tax cuts we're estimating at the moment. But there is a question as to what Labour would tax to actually pay for these things, because the windfall tax is not going to cover all these things, is it?
Well, we proposed a windfall tax to contribute to freezing people's energy bills. And we proposed a windfall tax, remember, on those big gas and oil producers who have made monumental profits because of what's happening on the international energy markets. We've also suggested that the corporation tax breaks, which the government have gone ahead with, they shouldn't have gone ahead with that. As I said, I'm not sure that tourists at this moment need a VAT cut so they can go shopping in well-to-do shops in London, etc. So there's different choices that can be made. But fundamentally, it was this government who promised working mums and dads, disabled people, poorer pensioners, that their social security payments would be inflation-proofed. And it was only a few months ago that they made that promise. Tory ministers should honour that promise.